In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this painting company booked $32,500 in closed jobs off of $2,700 in Facebook ads. This is one of our clients, Pure Painting, and I'm going to break down exactly from start to finish how this happened. If you do the math, that comes out to a 12.03 return on ad spend. So what that means is that for every $1 this person puts into ads, they get back $12.03 in their top line revenue. Imagine this, if you walked up to a machine and you put in $1, and for every $1 you put in, you got back over $12. Would you stay at that machine all day? Of course you would. So I'm going to exactly break this down on how we created this machine so that you can do it too. Let's hop into the Facebook Ads Manager and get started. So this is the Facebook Ads Manager for this company. And this is the campaign that we ran for them. This is Taurify campaign 1.0 here. And from this campaign, they got 93 leads. Their ads were shown to 31,000 people, and they were shown about 141,000 times. And that boils down to about a $29 cost per lead. And in spend, there you have it, $2,696. So just a tad under that $2,700 that we talked about. So how did we set this up? The first thing that we did is we ironed out the targeting. We chose the certain areas in their location, which is Jackson, Michigan, that were a little bit higher income, better areas. And when we talked with this client, we figured that out. Okay, who has money in your area? Who do we want to be showing ads to, and so on. And that's going to depend a little bit based on the audience size. Jackson, Michigan is not very large, so we did go a little bit broad. But we made sure to only show the ads to people who can actually afford your services. So how this would work in your area, let's say, for example, you live in Los Angeles, then you would want to pick the high income areas like Orange County, for example, because Orange County is notorious for having money and so on. And you obviously want to show ads to people who are in good neighborhoods and can afford your services. So that's the big qualification number one here. And number two is you want to filter them by the age. What this is going to do is it's going to make sure that you're actually showing to homeowners. If you show to people who are 18, 22, they probably don't have a home. They probably can't afford really anything. So they're probably not going to be the best fit for your services. Usually what we do on age is 30 or 35 and above, because those people are going to be the better quality people and also the ones who actually are the homeowners. So that is the second big piece of targeting to focus on here. Now, number three is going to be in the ads themselves. These are the creatives, and this is where the magic really happens. This right here can make or break your ads and make or break the entire system, because this is what brings in the leads to begin with. So in this example here, we have the business owner and the business owner's family all in these ads. His name is Eric. So you see Eric in the ads, and then Eric shows up to your house and shakes your hand. That is so powerful, because you want to turn yourself into a local celebrity. You want to be the guy or the girl for this service. If you are the best painter in your town, you want to plaster yourself all over everywhere. People buy from people. They don't buy from businesses. They buy from you because they like who you are and they trust you as a person. So we want to leverage that. We want to use that as much as possible. So Eric and his family are in the ads. When Eric and somebody from his family shows up to the job to give you an estimate, you're already familiar with them. You already know who they are. And it really helps to make sure that the whole experience is a lot smoother for everyone. So that's how that gets brought in and where those ads kind of fit in here. But that is only just one piece of the puzzle. The ads need to come in, and that's how that's happened. But let's move on to how those leads actually get managed and what to actually do when those come in. Next up, Eric is using a system called Drip Jobs. And if you don't have Drip Jobs, I highly recommend that you take this on with your painting company. It's a phenomenal tool, and I highly recommend using it. And if you want to get 60 days for free to try out Drip Jobs, you can use code T60 at checkout, and I'll also leave a link below so you can give this a trial run. It's phenomenal, it's awesome, and I recommend it to all of our painters. And if you don't have it yet and you want to try it out, you can do that. But this is exactly why this is important and why this actually matters here. So here you can see the cold leads. These are the ones that we're still working on. Estimate requested, those are the ones that are in the process of getting scheduled. The estimate's scheduled. You can see there's about 26 in there at the moment. In draft, there's all those here. Some of the proposals sent, you can see he's sending out proposal a couple times a week here. Right now, there's about $103,000 pending in his pipeline right now of potential deals that could be closing. So that's all in the sales pipeline. You know, that's super important here, because when things are getting tracked, you actually know what's going on and you can improve. If things aren't being tracked, you can't improve. It's just like losing weight. It's hard to lose weight if you never step on the scale. This is stepping on the scale for your business. So that is all of the stuff that's pending at this moment. So at this point in time, there's about $100,000+ that is in the process of still getting converted. You know, not to count, you know, all those estimates that are still on the schedule here. But let's move over into the jobs pipeline, and this is where you can see all of the closed deals and where they all came from here. So, for example, here you can see that projects accepted yet to be completed. There's about $38,000 in there so far, and you can see all the different sources. You know, Facebook ads, word of mouth, Facebook ads, Facebook ads, Facebook ads. Facebook ads, a lot of these are from Facebook, phone call, some other stuff. But basically, you can see where all of that comes from. And then also once that's completed, you know, that can be all tracked here as well. But how do they actually, you know, get to the estimate? You know, once the lead comes in, you know, it's great, it's managed in drip jobs and things like that. But how do those leads actually turn into qualified estimates? Well, the first big piece there is that those leads need to be called, qualified, and then booked into that estimate. And that is where our appointment setting team comes in. Now, this is something that you can do with your admin, or if you're willing to take this on, you can. But there's a couple of really important things that I sort of recommend here in this situation. Number one is you gotta have speed to lead. You seriously have to call these leads within 5 minutes. You know, that's why we staff 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, so that, you know, there's always somebody there. If somebody fills out a lead on Sunday, you know, and wants to have some, you know, inquire about something, we're going to be there to make sure that they get booked. And whatever you do, you know, regardless of however you decide to set this up, I strongly recommend having the staff there. So let's say, for example, you decide to have an office admin. That would be having one person, maybe 9 to 5, and then another person for after hours and weekends, to make sure that those leads can actually get converted with. I personally, on Facebook, I'm a big after hours guy, and I think that's where a lot of your business is going to be coming from. If somebody's a busy, successful person, they're probably not available on Wednesday at 2 p.m., but they're going to be more so available after hours and things like that. So that's why I'm a big fan of after hours. So regardless, those appointments are going to need to get set, and you want to shoot for 30 or more appointment set rate. So what that means is that out of all those leads that you saw, you want to be booking at least 30% of those into estimates, because that's going to give you the numbers that you need in order to have success here. So at this point, we've gotten the leads in and we've gotten them all booked into estimates. But what happens now? Now, this can make or break the entire process, and that is going to be the sales process. Now, I really have to give credit here where credit is due, and I can't really take any of the credit when it comes to those sales. Now, Eric has been an absolute killer when it comes to his sales. He has been taking courses, learning programs, and he even is working with a coach to help improve his sales skills. Because at the end of the day, leads and estimates are completely useless unless there's a good sales process to bring them over the line. And that is where he has been crushing it. So I really encourage you to invest in your sales process, invest in your education, get a coach if that's what's needed. I think it's going to be some of the best dollars you can spend for your business. Even if you can bring up your closing rate by 5% or 10%, that is an infinite amount of money that you can get on a return. So strongly encourage you to make the investment necessary to become a better salesperson. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at some of these numbers here. So far, $43,000 in sales have been brought in with a closing ratio of 28.26%. So about 30%. So about 1 out of every 3 estimates that he goes to, he is closing, which is awesome. Next up is the average job size, which is 2,695, which is a little bit on the lower side. However, you know, he's absolutely been killing it, and I know that's going to go up only in the future here. Appointments booked, that is 60 in total, with a set rate of 58%. So he's over that 30% set rate. You know, he's getting a ton of of those leads booked into estimates. And total jobs won, 13. And let's break down some of those sales by source here. So those Facebook ads are the absolute breadwinner so far. $32,500 brought in sold jobs from those ads that we had discussed. There's a couple other ones here: word of mouth, phone call, website, and that is what we call like the untracked revenue. Now, it is totally possible that somebody could have seen the ad, not filled out the form, and then gave him a phone call because they wanted to speak with somebody in person. That is all like untracked revenue basically, and that's totally possible. I'm not going to take credit for that in this example, and I did not add that into any of our numbers here, but it is definitely something to think about here. So this is where the real bread is made, is in the sales process and having a killer sales team that can close these leads. So that is exactly how we helped this painting company make $32,500 with only $2,700 spent on Facebook ads. And it's only going to go up as time goes on here. So at this point in time, you basically have two options here. If this is kind of something that you wanted to do, you could tackle this yourself. You could go through the training, you can go through some of the things that are out there, even some of our YouTube videos, and you can learn how to do all of this. And I think that that's definitely something that you could do. Or you could work with an agency or somebody that can help you get there. And if you are somebody who wants this all taken care of for you, you want somebody to help you create all the ads, run it all, manage it all, and actually call those leads and turn them into appointments for you, then you can become one of our clients. And if you want to do that, and if you are interested in scaling your painting company, if you want to take it from 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 100, then I would encourage you to book a discovery call with us. And how you can do that is you can click on the link below, and then you can book a call where we can talk about a little bit more about how we actually can do that for you and also what that would look like. So if you want to take your painting company to the next level and work with some professionals who have done this time and time again with our clients, then you know where to find us. I hope you all have a great and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.